Which one of these is colour graded correctly? Is it 1, 2, 3 or 4? Let's find out. I'm John and this is Film with That's a good start, isn't it? Take 1. I'm John and this is Film with Done it again. Take 2. I'm John and this is Fun with Filmora. Yes, got it right. I asked the question, which one of these is colour graded correctly? And the answer is all of them, for 2 main reasons. The first reason is you may want your clip to look cinematic, you may want it to have like a sunny day effect, or you may want it to look like a dull day. Who knows? I've seen videos on the internet that have been colour graded, and I actually preferred the video before it had been colour graded. So I think a lot of it is down to personal choice and how you want your clip to look, and that's fine. So how do we colour grade our videos? Let's jump into Filmora and I'll show you how. So this is actually the original video, and let's just play that so you can see the colour as it is now. So it's a little bit dull, the grass doesn't look that green, but you know, the sky looks nice and blue, so it's not too bad. Now is the same clip with the colour grades that I put on. So you can see a massive difference in all 4 different colours there. Let me show you how I did that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'll take that back to the beginning. I'm just going to hide 3 of the clips so you can see the very first clip that I colour graded. Then I just created extra tracks and changed the colours on that. Now I did this manually. There are 2 ways you can colour grade. You can use manual settings and you can use presets. I'll show you manual way first and then I'll show you some of the presets. You click on your clip and then you go to the colour tab, and here in the 3 tabs, basic, HSL and curves, are all the settings you can play with manually to change the colour of your clip. So you can see underneath at the moment I've upped the temperature to 100% on that one, and that's what's given it this like golden look. Okay, in the second clip, let me just unhide that, it looks a lot more green, the sky looks bluer, looks slightly brighter. You can see the manual settings that I used. I dropped the temperature down a bit. I also increased the contrast, and that's what brought out more green and more blue in the sky as well. The third clip was a bit more dull, a bit drab, and what I did with that was increase the temperature just by a bit basically, and that's all I did on that. I didn't do anything else, and as you can see it's just made it a little bit more drab. On the 4th clip, as you can see there, it looks a little bit cooler, and that shows in the actual settings as well. I've dropped the temperature right the way down, and that's all I've done on that. I've done no other settings, just 4 basic manual settings. I've produced 4 different colour schemes completely. Okay, I'll just hide all those clips that I've done and I'll show the full clip of the original video footage I had. Right, so like I said, if you want to change or colour grade some of your clips, you need to go to the colour tab and use either basic, HSL or curves. I'll run through all of them so you can get a good idea of what you can do manually. I'll discuss presets in a minute because that's the second option of colour grading your clips, using presets, and there's a couple of ways you can do that as well. But first of all, let me just reset everything back to standard as it should be. Okay, so I'm sorry, that's the original colour of the clip I first had. Okay, right, so if you look at that clip now, if we drop the temperature down, you can see it goes a more blue colour. If we take it up, it goes more bronzy, sunny colour. So that's what temperature does. Tint does exactly as it says. It tints the colours to different colours, greeny, blue and a purple colour. Okay, I'll just reset them both by clicking on the backward arrow there. Exposure lightens and darkens the image as you would expect with a camera. Brightness stands for itself, it brightens it, but it blows the clouds out, so you can brighten it and drop the exposure down a bit and the clouds will come back in again. I'll just reset them. Contrast makes everything a bit sharper, I think. So again, if you drop that right down, it goes a bit more grey and faded. Bit crisper and sharper if you take the contrast up, but you can overdo it on contrast. And don't forget, when you're doing these changes, make them subtle unless you want a dramatic change for some reason. You saw my 4 clips together and they were dramatic changes. Whether they would work for your video clips depends on what you want to do with it. That was just a test to show you how you can set manual settings and make one video clip look completely different in different ways. Okay, where was I up to? Vibrance. Vibrance is quite a nice one. It really brings out the colours. So for example, in the bottom right down here, where this piece of light coloured grass and the house is there, if you take up the vibrance, you can see the green really pop in the grass. So vibrance is a good one to use. Saturation, again, if you take that up, it does what it says. It saturates the colours. It brings out, again, some of the greens, some of the blacks, makes it a bit more vivid. But it's a case of playing around with each one of those settings to see what is best for you. And again, we can go down and we've got more options here. You can change the highlights. If you take it up, you can see again they all change, light or dark. Shadows does the same. It makes the shadows change from light or dark. I'll just whiz through these. That brightens the white up. You can see the sky getting blown out there. Blacks makes the black stand out more. But again, it is a case of playing with each individual one. You don't really need to use vignette. That basically just puts as you can see, a border around the 4 corners, whether it's black if you go left or white if you go right. Okay, so we don't need that. Okay, let's look at the next tab, HSL, because you can change some of your colour schemes here as well. And HSL stands for hue, saturation and lightness. Now at the moment you see there's a tick in the red, so any changes you make here will change anything that's red within your video. Now there's not a lot of red in mine, in fact I can't see any, so if I choose more of the green colour and then play around with the settings, there are very subtle changes, but there are changes going on. And again, the luminance, but they are, like I said, very, very subtle. So for example, if I put them all up to the top and then just reset them all, you can see the green changes colour here. Let me just do that again. So keep your eye on this bit of green here. This is where you see it most really. So if I take them right the way up, you can see it goes brighter and lighter. And now if I reset them, it changes. So again, you can do that for any colours. So for the sky, let's do it again with the sky. Let's take the sliders right the way up. You can see a good colour change there in the sky. Nice purpley blue. And now if I reset it, you see the changes there. So HSL is good to increase or do colour grading on individual colours. It's ideal for that. Okay, let me just reset everything. That's fine. The next tab we go to is curves. Let's just activate curves. Okay, so curves allow you to change the YRGB, or you can actually colour pick a colour from your video. So say that one. And now if we change the curve by clicking on a dot, you can see the colours change, really bright, really dark. But there's other things you can do with this curve. You can actually click anywhere on the curve and add extra dots and then just drag that bit down. So we can make a lot of changes by using the curve. It's quite good for subtle changes, dramatic changes, just changing certain colours. So it's really good for that. But again, you know, it depends on how far you want to take your colour grading. Try and make it quite subtle because it can be a bit over dramatic. Okay, let me just reset that. Okay, the other way of colour grading is by using templates. So let's go to our colour basic tab again. Let's go right up to the top. And as you can see here, we have presets. If you click on this little arrow here, it'll open more for you as well. There's options under all presets to look at 3D LUTs, for example. Now a LUT is a lookup table, and all that means is it's a preset colour template. That's all it really means. And as you can see here, they have different types of LUTs and they give you different effects. So for example, let's click on, it says if you hover over it, click to apply, click on that. You see the video change dramatically. It's awful. I don't like that one. So I'm just going to do Control Z on my keyboard and that undoes the last action. So we've had a look at a cyberpunk. Let's look at warm film. Click on that. Okay, so that gives a nice summer evening effect, something like that. Again, it's a case of clicking on them and playing around with them, but some of them give some real good effects. Star Wars, let's just go through a few here. Mission Impossible, this one's called. Harry Potter, see what that one is. Quite dark, and if you think of a Harry Potter film being quite cinematic, that gives a cinematic effect, so that works well. Okay, let's scroll down. Couple more. We've got Game of Thrones. That brightens it up again, and if you think of a Game of Thrones was in the earlier days when there wasn't much colour, so that's why that's applied that filter to it. Undo that. We've got Batman. Okay, again another cinematic look, and a black and white film. It basically takes away all of the colour, and if you play that, obviously the colour grade stays on throughout the whole of the film. Okay, let me just undo that. Let's go to all presets, and again this just gives you a full list of all the presets, including the ones I've just done as well. Vignette, like I said before, is not really a colour grade, I'd say. It's more of an effect. If you click on it, it gives you darkened corners. So I'll go past the vignettes for now. Let's have a look at film stock. Okay, like a lilac-y purple colour, quite nice. Not for this video, but still a nice effect. And there's loads to go through there. There's quite a few. So there may be a preset template that you can use without having to change all the settings yourself, which is great. Okay, let me just reset that. Okay, but there is another way you can add LUTs as well, and filters and colour grading, and that's by going to the Effects tab in Filmora, going down to Filter and LUT, and you can see here all these are also colour graded templates ready to use. So for example, if we click on the first one, LUT, Vibrant Film, click on that, it changes it. Urban High, don't know what that is. Oh, makes it really bright. So let's just undo that, get it back to the way it was. Okay, let's have a look at a couple more. Sin City. Oh, that darkens it down quite a lot. Still a nice effect though. Okay, Thriller. That sounds interesting. Let's have a look at that. Oh, that's nice. I like that one. Dark. I know it's dark, but it's a real good cinematic look. Okay. What else have we got here? Contemporary. No idea what these are. I've never used them before, so it might take a second to download. Yeah, okay. Again, it just seems to have darkened it down. Let me just lighten that up again. Right, I've gone back to the original colour of the film now, of the video, sorry, because I added that many colour LUTs on and colour grading. It started to look really weird, and I forgot what I was up to. So apologies for that, but I've gone back to the original colour now of the video. Started looking quite weird. So let's try a couple more. Okay, let's have a look at movie. Let's click on movie. Okay, again, it just gives it a sort of washed out look, which is quite nice. And let's have a look at some of the others. On the left hand side, we've got cinematic, and these seem quite popular. So let's go to the top. Loads and loads of colour templates you got to choose from. So like I said, hopefully you won't have to play around, but even if you do, it's fun, and you'll get the actual colour that you want, hopefully. So let's have a look at Vibrant Film. Okay. Yeah, again, they're all some of, subtle effects, but there's plenty for you to choose from. Retro packs, for example. Just take a sec. Ooh, very dark, but still a nice effect. Let's have a look at Blue Skies. Oh, that really brightens it up. Nature. Let's have a look at some nature ones. Click on that. I don't know why that's classed as nature, but then again, I'm putting these on top of each other, so it's going strange colours. But you get the idea. I just wanted to show you how you can add colour effects and colour templates to your video. And you can stack them on top of each other, as you found here. You can add one, then add another one on top, and add another one on top, and then again, play around with all the colours yourself manually. I hope this tutorial has been of some help to you. Colour grading is good fun. It can be great. It can be disastrous, as you just found out with that last video I've just created with the strange colours. But like I said, it's all down to personal choice. And as long as you're happy with it and it looks good, you go with it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching, Now go have some fun.